Hey, so it's inspection time again. I didn't know when I got down here that they do it every month. I figured it was more than once during your program, but nope, it's once a month. So that's coming up. They start today, and it's like a week span, and they don't tell you when they're coming. So you have to keep your apartment like super clean for a week. And with as busy as you are and all that stuff, it can get a little difficult to do that. So on the off weeks when it's not inspection, our apartment is a mess, which makes it hard to clean it for inspections. But you get it done. Teamwork, if you have good roommates. My room is clean now. Yeah, fun times. Every month. Keep that in mind. I've been busy. I'm not home all that often, so that makes editing video harder. I have today off, so I am getting all of this done. Fun times. No, I'm really tired all the time. Because I don't want to miss out on anything, so I'm working a lot, and then on top of that, when I'm not working, I'm out with friends doing other things, and so I don't really sleep all that much. But it's fun, like, almost all the time. Except when you're getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to work, or the manager at my location sets up backstage tours, and like volunteer things, and so I do a lot of those. So far, I've done Expedition Everest, Soarin', and we volunteered at the SPCA to, just pet dogs and cats for a couple hours. That was really cool. I have some video that I'm gonna plop at the end of this of the really cute cat that I got to play with. His name was Howard. The woman that worked with us was fostering 5 kittens, and there was 1 girl and 4 boys, and so they were Penny, Sheldon, Howard, Raj, and Leonard from The Big Bang Theory, which was really awesome. Anyways, Disney works you to the bone. CPs are the bottom of the totem pole, so you always get I never have the same schedule every week, and I feel like that's a little unusual, and I'm not sure if it's my location or what, but if I ever get the same shift, it would be 4 to 10, which is the typical closing shift. Right now, Epcot's extra magic hours are on Wednesdays, so that means if I get a closing shift, I'm working until midnight, which stinks, because then I have class the next morning at 8:30. So, yeah, that's fun. But luckily I didn't have to do that this week. So, alright. I need to do a little bit of explaining to you guys, I guess. More so for my class than some things that you might not know. But Disney's business structure is really interesting. It really, I think, depends on your location and the leaders and managers that you get. Coordinators, leaders. But basically the totem pole is like CPs, then like part-time, full-time. If your location has an ICP, I have an ICP that's a manager, so she's like up there. And then there's coordinators. At my location, they're called coordinators. I think some places they're called leaders. And then above them are the managers. And then there's the area manager. Mine is Philip. He's really great. My location is very unique because there's a lot of CPs, but it's a very large location, and we also, anybody that works there that isn't that's a CP, like a college program, works front of house, because at my location we have culinary that does all the cooking, and I think at a lot of other quick service locations they have CPs and like cast members that aren't culinary that do the cooking. I have three roommates that work at locations at Magic Kingdom, and they don't have culinary. The setup is also very different, so it really depends on your location of like what you could be doing. I know that one of my roommates is trained both front of house and back of house, so she cooks the food and also serves it and wipes and does the bussing and stuff out with where the guests are. So that's that. I'm not really sure what else to say. Everybody has their own opinions of the program, for sure. It's time for people to be applying for extensions. I will not be doing that. I'm going home in January. I want to go home. There's a lot of things here that I like. I like the people that I work with. I like being able to go to the parks. Love food and wine. But it's really hard being this far away from my family. And my fiance. It's really hard. And as much as I've grown while being here, I really just am ready for my program to end. And I feel like whenever I do these updates, they're like really depressing and stuff like that. I love being here. I've made some great friends. They keep me distracted, so I don't think about it most of the time. But when I have downtime like this, it's really prominent in the front of my mind. Let's see, what else can I talk to you about? Okay, so Disney's really secretive. There's a lot of stuff that I can't show you or tell you about how they operate. So it's kind of hard to talk about that. But what can I say? There's not really much I can say about how they operate. Something that really impresses me is the level of commitment that they have to what they say when we're in our traditions class, which is the thing that everybody goes to, is Disney creates happiness. And I'm really impressed with the way that they do that. They have these things called the 4 keys, and it's the 4 basic things that Disney does to make the guest experience as best as it can be. And they're safety, courtesy, show, and efficiency. And they really, 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 really push those when you're working here. And safety being the number one. They actually come in that order: safety, courtesy, show, and efficiency. So safety is number 1. They talk about it all the time. And they're always finding ways to improve. You're walking around the kitchens and backstage where the guests are not, and you see little posters of, submissions that cast members have made to make improvements and improve the safety of the cast members. So they're not only looking for safety in terms of guests, but safety in terms of cast members, because if the cast members aren't safe, then there's an issue and they can't serve the guests properly. So safety is definitely number 1 for Disney. Courtesy, just being nice. The big one at my location is taking trays from guests when they've finished, making sure that when they're ordering their food they know if they're on the dining plan that they get everything that they need before they get to the register to decrease wait times at the register for not only that specific guest, but for the guests around, like other guests that are coming through our location. Show, you have to look nice. I have to cover my tattoo. I do it every day. I put my hair up, I put my makeup on, and I have not had an issue yet where it's been noticed. So finding the best ways to cover it, it was an issue during my hiring process. They wanted to make sure that it would be covered. So they had me send them pictures, and they reviewed my location, and I could have been moved to a different position. But it worked out that I could cover them up easily because they're not super large. Efficiency, it's in the background. It's working all the time. If there's lines at the registers, we have other people trained who can hop on the registers to move people along in the lines to decrease their wait times. Our goal is to have someone from the time they enter to the time they sit down at their table to eat, to have them not be waiting for their food any longer and paying any longer than 7 minutes. That can be tough, especially when there's a lot of people coming through all at one time. We'll get little waves, so the people that come through when there's a lull, that's easy. We can get them through in 5 minutes. But when there's lots of people, that's when we have an issue because they have to make fresh food, and there's new restrictions on when they can make the food. So it's just finding those little ways to make it a little bit more efficient, and not only for the guests but for us as well, so that we don't have food waste at the end of the night, because trying to minimize that to decrease costs for guests, because everybody knows it's expensive to go to Disney. So that's how Disney creates happiness. It's really, really awesome to watch it and to be a part of it, because happiness is what creates the magic. I love working for Disney. If I was going to extend my program, I would want to switch roles, because I want to see how that magic works someplace else. I love the people at my location, but I don't like my role. I don't want to be in food service. Anyway, I'm not extending, so I won't get to see that. And I don't ever plan on working for Disney again, at least not in the near future. So I'm experiencing as much as I can while I can, and that impacts, me being tired and getting my schoolwork done, but you find time to do it if it's worth it, and it definitely is. So while you're here, do whatever you can. You may be tired a lot, but you'll be having a blast. And this is definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience for me, so I'm living it to the fullest. And I can't wait to be home with all my friends and family. I love you guys so much. If anybody has any questions... Hi, Jenna.
What are you doing?
I'm vlogging.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're okay. If anybody has any questions, let me know. I might ask some of my roommates for their opinion on the program. So if they're there, you'll see them right after this.